Welcome to episode number 49 of Life Without Cravings. So, hello, my awesome friends. I have a short announcement to make today, and that is that on the 10th of July, that's in a week, if you're in the US or Europe, that will be in, I will be running another Master Your Carb Craving Challenge. And I haven't had one since February, I think, so I know some of you have asked me about it. Finally here, we're gonna go again. It's a 7-day challenge, and I will be going live every day during this challenge. And I'm going to teach you how to never give in to your cravings again. It's as simple as that. And I'm going to offer a lot of support during this week. So if you have been wanting to take action, now is the time to do so. The challenge is free, and you can sign up on the link, which will be posted in show notes or the description. You can just go there, click on the link, sign up. You will be sent all the information that you need to take part. I just wanted to say that because I know that some of you are not watching until the end, and I don't want you to miss out on that. So, today I want to share something with you that happened to me a few weeks ago. So, I very rarely engage on other people's social media posts. But sometimes when something is triggering me, I just can't be quiet, right? So I have taken a screenshot of this, and I'm gonna put it up on the screen in a second, and I'm also gonna read it for those of you who are not watching the video. So here it is, and I have removed the name of the person making this post because I don't necessarily want to call anyone out. I don't think this author is an idiot. I don't think anything. I think our whole society has a problem, and the whole society is very misguided. So the post says, "Quit telling yourself that you will be the one who can use drug foods and not suffer any consequences. Nobody in the history of the world has ever been able to moderate an addiction." And especially that second part is kind of what's hitting my red button. Like, this whole statement just makes me want to scream. It's so disempowering and it's so disheartening. It just makes me feel like, why do you believe this? It doesn't make any sense. It's just one of those things that we go around and we tell ourselves, we tell other people, and all of a sudden it's just one of those truths that isn't actually a truth. Now, I'm not saying that anyone would necessarily feel great from moderating cookies and pizza and all of that. But when you think that it's impossible to do that, what happens is that you feel very disempowered, and you're probably going to feel very out of control, because what this statement is telling you is that it's not actually down to you. You have something wrong with you that makes you have to be abstinent, or you're going to have to suffer the consequences. And that's simply not true. And when you feel like you are out of control, what happens then? That's when we resign and we just give in to the cravings. And we even avoid trying to quit, usually for long periods of time, because we think that the only way out of this is for us to quit forever. So we need to be ready, and we need to feel like, I'm gonna succeed this time. And if we don't even try. I don't know if that seems familiar to you, but I have done that many times. Like, I just need another week, I just need another binge, I just need another whatever, and then I'm gonna be ready. But the thing is that we're not getting ready, because there is no ready. You just have to make the decision. So if you do this, if you feel disempowered, if you believe that it's all or nothing and that you are not in control, you are almost guaranteed to fail somewhere along the way. And that fail, rather than just that being, a small misstep that you can use and correct and of course correct and then get back on track, you're going to make that failure mean that you're powerless and you're out of control. That's what you believe. If you believe that you can't ever have it because it has consequences, that means that you're out of control, right? Back to the post. Obviously, I had to say something. So I commented on this post and I said, that although I am abstinent 99% of the time, I have no problem eating a previous drug food. And I'm eating it as an exception, and then I'm just going back to being abstinent again. And holy cow, did I get a backlash for that? Oh yeah, I did. So the author of this post, they said to me that if I can do that, maybe I wasn't ever truly an addict. Or maybe I'm in denial because addicts need to abstain 100%. They need to abstain. She was also very clear about I could not say that I was abstaining 99% of the time because I'm moderating it, not doing that. So I guess it's your definition. If I'm eating the way that I want to eat 100% of the time, it's not a problem for me. I'm not eating because I have cravings. I'm not eating because I'm addict. I'm eating because I've chosen to. So I've been told that maybe I wasn't ever an addict. Have you heard this one before? Vegans who quit. They were never really vegan anyway. Because people who are there feel very threatened when someone is liberating themselves from that cult. And I don't want to call a lot of people like culty just because they think that they need to be abstinent 100% of the time, who feel like they are in recovery from their food addiction. I don't think that's useful. However, I do see this as a big problem, that the society and that these coaches and these influencers believe this. They are, when they post and when they go live, when they're on YouTube, on Instagram, whatever, they are disempowering people because they themselves believe, or I should say, because they themselves don't believe in themselves enough to even consider that it's a possibility for them to learn how to eat with control. Because they've tried it. We all try to moderate and it doesn't work. But it doesn't mean that moderation doesn't work. It means that you haven't tried it the right way. And especially if we talk about the problems. And I'm not saying that everyone needs to learn how to do it. I think everyone will probably benefit from learning how to do it, but not everyone wants to do that, and that's fine with me. But I think that everyone should know that there are options. You don't need to decide that the only way that I can recover is to be 100% abstinent. Because there are options. And you can choose to do whatever you fucking want. Completely up to you. If you are doing fine, just being abstinent, and you can keep it up, let's be honest here, most people can't. Most people will fail at some point. Some people actually do. They just decide, you go there, and they're fine. But that's not most people. So most people, they will probably fail at some point, and when they do, and they don't know how to handle this, they don't know how to handle those cravings, then they go back to their default kind of thinking, and they're going to think that they are powerless. This addiction again is taking over my brain, and now out of my control. And that's usually going to end in a very long. Where people can go 2-3 years sometimes, don't touch the carb. Something happens, oof. They have a piece of cake or a slice of pizza, and that starts that thought cycle going. Uh-oh, now I'm in trouble. And just by thinking that, you are in trouble. Rather than, interesting, I got a craving, what happened? Must be my insulin maybe, or my blood sugar, what's going on? But I know how to do. I don't even get those cravings if I'm eating off. But if I did, that's where my brain would go. Ah, interesting. See how my brain is just revving up again, wanting to go back to the old addictive day. Doesn't mean that I have to do it. It's optional. Because you can learn how to be in control. So if you don't know how to handle that, and just think that, well, that's it. Now I'm in big trouble again. Hello, binge. than they are on a binge. Maybe for some people that binge might be a year. People just a few months. And it's still gonna slow your progress in whatever. And it's not gonna make you feel good. Probably gonna think differently about yourself. Your self-confidence is gonna drop. All the shit is gonna hit the fan. Just because you believe that you can't do it. It's a belief problem. So what if we could just remove this belief and look at the reality instead? And I am being freaking real here. I am not in denial. Everyone who has a normal human brain, I should say, and that goes for most autistic brains, it goes for ADHD brains, it goes for, like, you name it, whatever brain you have. You have a normal brain. If you are severely autistic, you don't understand what I'm saying, you're not capable of taking care of yourself or making decisions, yeah, maybe that's kind of the case where it's going to be hard. But most people that will be watching this probably are able to take care of themselves and make decisions. And if you can do that, you have a normal brain, no excuses, you can learn how to do this. All normal human brains are capable of learning new things. We know this. This is hard science. We can't deny it. And I don't even think the sugar addicts or carb addicts can deny this. You can literally teach your brain to not respond to cravings anymore. That's the hard science. It's possible. We can prove that it works. We can see it in brain scans. We can see it in labs. We can even train rats to do it. And they're not very intelligent. And I'm living proof of it. I definitely was a very bad sugar addict for 40 years or so. It was bad. You cannot gaslight me into thinking that, well, maybe I wasn't a sugar addict, because I definitely was. It was not pretty. It was not good. I had all the signs on these scales or tests that you do. I can't remember how many questions. Maybe it's 15. I scored 14, 15. And you just need 4 over 7 or something to classify it as an addict. Like, it was bad. So I can do it. I've taught other people to do it. I have clients who've been coming to me and saying, hey, I really need to deal with this, but like I've never been able to do it, and I'm really addicted to this. They've done it because they wanted to do it. They wanted to make the change, and they took the time and the effort to focus on making that change. So why do we then have this stupid societal belief that this does not apply to addiction? It's common sense. It's just biology. Like, we can retrain the brains. We can apply it to anything that we want. And still we have these beliefs that are just hanging on, like old glue. And I think partly it's because we are lazy freaking bastards. We rather sit and moan about it and blame the food industry than just take matters into our own hands and do some work. That's a lot easier to do. I mean, I remember thoughts that I used to have was, yeah, absolutely, I would have been for a sugar tax. Like, yeah, sure, tax the sugar, maybe that will help me to not go and buy it. I don't think so. Like, seriously, yeah, there are things that need to change, but everyone needs to take some responsibility for their own results, rather than just sit and moan about what other people are doing. Is it easy to do? Nope. It requires you to feel uncomfortable. But really, I mean, I say no, it's not easy to do because it feels really yucky. But really, it's not that bad. Like, when you get it, and that doesn't have to take long, it's not that bad. It's just that you have to stay focused and keep practicing it, even when it feels like the progress might be slow. Because retraining a brain, it takes a little while. It's like going to the gym. Imagine that you have never been to the gym, you have never been doing any exercise, you have never been lifting a lot of weights or whatever. You go to the gym and you pick up some weights that are pretty heavy for you. You start lifting them, and then you're going to start shaking. You're going to feel your muscles just shaking, and then they might start cramping after 5 repetitions because your muscles have never been used. The same thing when you're getting used to not responding to your craving. It's gonna feel really, really strange. It's gonna feel really, really hard. But if you keep coming back to the gym and you keep lifting those weights, it's gonna be easier every single time. And it's the same thing when you do this. It's just a skill and you're building that brain muscle. All you're doing. So I say it's hard to lift heavy weights, but it can be comfortable hard. It doesn't have to be this fight that we want to do. I'm gonna fight the cravings. We don't fight cravings because we're gonna lose every freaking time when we do that. It's not worth it. And it never ever works out. So what people don't understand is the way that your brain works today, in this moment, is not permanent. You can change it. Just because you're an addict doesn't mean that you're always going to be an addict. Yes, the neural pathway is always going to be there. Yes, it's going to be really easy for you to just jump back into it because it's a skill that you have practiced for many years. I practiced it for 40 years. But I'm aware and I choose not to do that anymore. And you can do that as well. Anyone can learn to do that. We constantly change, we constantly evolve, and it's within our power to choose what direction that should take. You can choose whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It's just about choosing. If you want to be an addict, yeah, go for it. If you want to be abstinent 100% of the time, go for it. If you want to learn to moderate because you want to eat something at certain holidays or whatever reason you have, if you think it's a good reason, it's good enough for me. You get to choose yourself. That's the point. And when you choose, no one is going to call you a freaking addict because you choose to eat it 3 times per year. That's not how addiction works. You can choose to just go with the flow and let your brain do whatever it is. You can let your brain teach itself new skills and learn the way that brains do when we not pay attention, which will always be strengthening those pathways and behaviors of instant gratification. That's one way of living. Or you can choose to just decide to actively decide what you want your brain to learn moving forward. We don't have to keep doing what we have been doing up until now. There's always an option. Just accepting that you cannot change is never going to be the solution. That is never, ever going to give you freedom. And I don't know why that's so hard to understand. I'm struggling with understanding why that's so hard to understand. So which would you rather be? Like the person who continues to grow and push the limits and just rock their own world? Or do you want to be the person who puts a label on themselves and tell themselves that they can never do something, I can never touch a pizza, or I can never touch a cookie again, because if I do, there are consequences. And those consequences are out of my control. You get to choose, not up to me. And there is a huge difference in how you feel doing it. Whichever you choose, you can still choose to be abstinent, as I said. But one is coming from fear of failure and disempowerment and fear of future failure. Whereas the other one comes from empowerment and choice and freedom. When I choose to be abstinent, when I choose to not eat those things, I choose it because I truly feel like I don't need them. They don't add anything to my life anymore. I'm the one who's in control here. I'm not controlled by food anymore. And when I choose to eat something, like that burger I had on my birthday, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna have a normal meal, and I'm gonna freaking enjoy it. And I did. I looked at the desserts. I even had a plan. If I want any dessert on the menu, I didn't want it. And it was not out of fear. It was out of, I don't think I will like them. I don't think I would like the taste of that. It didn't feel enticing to me. So I didn't have it. Whereas in the past, I would have gone out and what I would have been looking forward to was certainly the dessert And even if I had seen that menu and hadn't felt like any of that spoke to me, I would have got one anyway, because that would have been my one opportunity to get something for free, if you like, air quotes. Because otherwise, if I go to the supermarket or something, then there's an intention to go there to just get the sugar, but if I'm going out for a meal, it's like free sugar. That's what my brain was used to think. So I can do and I can eat whatever the fuck I want now, and not be controlled by the sugar, and not feel bad about it, and not feel like I'm doing something wrong or the addiction is coming back, or I don't have any of that mind drama, and it's so freaking nice. I try to not swear every other sentence, but I feel very strongly about this. I can have ice cream if I want to, but I don't want to, because it no longer tastes good to me. Like, I know that it's not going to taste good. It's not the kind of food that I want to put in my body. But if I ever do, if I ever feel like I want ice cream, it will be my choice. It will not be the addiction's choice. It will not be that nagging voice in my head. It will not be my cravings that are telling me that I should be eating ice cream because I need it. It will be a conscious decision by me, for whatever reason I decide, to eat it. And it will not lead me down a path of more ice cream and garbage. Ever. So, it will be an exception. It will not be part of my life. Right? There's a huge difference, and I hope that you see what the difference is. So if you are curious how you can learn this skill, I want to invite you again to join my Master Your Carb Cravings Challenge. It's free. I'm not charging for it. I'm going to teach you the fundamentals of how to do this, and we're also going to look at things like your inner motivation and the drive that you have within you for this change, because it's really important that it's really important for you to know that, to keep you on track, because at some stage your brain is going to start playing mind tricks on you, and it's going to be like, yeah, but maybe we should just have something, and you're going to start to waver, and then we just need to have a really good reason for why we want to do this. And then towards the end of the challenge, what we're also going to do is that we will together just plan for you for how you can move forward, so that you know what you need to do next and what you need to focus on to reach your goal. It's a really good challenge, and it's for a whole week. And the link is down in the description, so if you want to join, you can just go and click on that link and join. I recommend that you sign up straight away, because I have a few extra videos and things for you to do leading up to the challenge. So there will still be some stuff for you to do in the challenge in the week before we actually start. So that was pretty much all I had for you today. But I just want to say, go out there, rock your world, and don't let anyone tell you who you are, what you are capable of, because you have it within you to change anything you want to change, if you choose to do so. And it's all up to you. I will see you again next week. Bye.